Our next speaker, speaker number 13, is, and let's see, I'll make sure to get this pronunciation right, Alexandre, and he is coming from district, where did I missed that? From district 86. And he, after joining Toastmasters in 2007, Alexandre went from fearing the stage to loving it. Two-time District 86 champion at the International Speech Contest, Alexandre took second place in the World Semifinal in 2012, specializing in storytelling for young audiences. Alexandre is preparing a Canadian tour of elementary schools from Ontario to British Columbia. At home, Alexandre practices the art of storytelling with his most difficult audience, his two 7-year-olds. Well, wait till they're 17, then you'll find a real difficult audience. And his speech title is "The Plan Was Perfect." The plan was perfect. Alex Anmat.
When our twin girls were just 6 months old, we planned a day trip to Sturgeon Falls, a small village not far away, to visit the cottage of Uncle Phil and Aunt Simone. Now, all the previous times that we had visited them, or that they visited us, the babies were fussy, crying, cranky. It never worked. Ma tante Simone might have been thinking, what is wrong with these babies? In fact, it was just never the right time of the day. They hadn't had their nap. So we wanted this visit to be perfect. Our plan for that day was elaborate but simple. We'd take the road right after breakfast and let the girls have their nap during the 1-hour ride. In the car, they would babble for 15 minutes. Then they would quietly play with their toes for 10 minutes. And then they would fall asleep for exactly 45 minutes, and they'd arrive rested and ready for a perfect visit. With a drive of just over 1 hour, the timing was perfect. Am I right? Did you do the math in your head too? The plan was perfect. Now, do you find that sometimes a plan is made to be broken? After breakfast, we put the girls in the car and we rode off. I was behind the wheel, Liane was beside me, and the girls behind us. The girls babbled for 15 minutes. Then they played quietly with their toes for 10 minutes. And then they played quietly with their toes for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And then they fell asleep. We were just 10 minutes away from the cottage. Now, do you know that a baby's sleep cycle is precisely 45 minutes? These babies need 15 minutes to slowly fall asleep, and then 15 minutes of deep restorative sleep, and an extra 15 minutes to lightly wake up and end the sleep cycle. And we also knew that if we stopped the car, they would wake up, right? The babies like the humming, the vibration of the car. So if we just went to the cottage at that time, they would sleep only for 10 minutes, 15 if I drive really slowly. But that won't work. They need their deep sleep to be in a good mood at the cottage. Let's just drive around town for a half hour. Oh, and if you're concerned about the environment, don't worry. We drive a hybrid. So I was driving slowly in the right lane with cars whizzing by on the left. And then a genius idea came to us in the form of a giant red oval flashing at us. Tim Hortons coffee shop. Yes, let's go to the drive-thru. Great idea. We don't need to stop the car. We can get coffee, hot chocolate, maybe some tiny donuts for the tour of the town. The plan was perfect. Oh, right. Plans are made to be broken. We arrive at the lineup of the coffee shop, behind 5 or 6 cars. The car still running in the drive-through. Oh, wait. Did I tell you we drive a hybrid? What happens to a hybrid when it's idle? The engine stops running. The car stops vibrating. The children stop sleeping. Shh, la 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 la. Oh no! They are awake. Okay, change of plans again. Now, we can't turn the car around. We're stuck in the 15-car lineup to Tim Hortons. Note to self, when the girls are sleeping, don't go to the drive-thru. So we try to figure out a new plan as we sip our dark roast coffee and French vanilla. Do we now drive around for 40 minutes just hoping that they will fall back asleep? No, that won't work. They just had a power nap. I know firsthand the power of the power nap. It's how I got through university. And back then, a power nap didn't make up for a poor night's sleep. So the same goes for the case of a 6-month-old. After a power nap, yeah, it'll be good for an hour, but then fatigue will start again. Just like my university classes. So what do we do? Okay, so we thought of the plan, and here it was. We arrive at the cottage at around 10:30. We say, hello, Uncle Phil. Hello, Aunt Simone. We'll just play for a short while, and then we'll let the girls sleep, okay? But for them to sleep well, we knew it would not be as easy as at home, just putting them down. So we would place them in a baby wrap, and they would naturally fall asleep close to our hearts. So the plan was perfect. Oh, right. Plans are made to something. So we place our daughters in our baby wraps, one baby each, one wrap each, Liane and me. We step outside so as not to be interrupted by the distractions in the cottage, lights, sounds, people. And we went outside, but the sun was high. That's not good to fall asleep. So we went to the woods for shade in the shadow of dark oak trees. Ah, that works. Beneath our feet, the sound of dry leaves and small branches cracked with each step, waking our babies. So we go to the car, we pick up blankets and cover our heads and babies, and we start to shush and sing under our little shady bubbles. Now, after a lot of singing and shushing, finally, my baby falls asleep. Meanwhile, the other baby is still crying and screaming and threatening to wake up my baby. Get away from my baby! At least 6 feet away, please. Liane says, this isn't working. I'm going back inside. Sometimes you just have to accept defeat. And this battle was won by the baby. Exhausted, she gives up and just sits down the baby in the master bedroom just to let her play or whatever. And then she falls asleep. Well, the baby falls asleep instantly and literally. Whew. 45 minutes later, they both wake up, well rested, ready for a playful visit. After lunch, we played a little bit, and then it was time for the afternoon nap. But don't worry, the plan was perfect. Back to you, Tom.